What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back. We are here at 13 Reasons Why After Show. We're talking about Season 3, Episode 12, and then the hurricane hit. Clay is on the run. Fearless Jess delivers an amazing speech, and we finally get an eyewitness account of everything that happened at homecoming. A lot to talk about. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, long time no see, friends. Welcome back. 13 Reasons Why After Show. Episode 12, we're winding down. I'm your boy Danny Royce, and I'm joined by the amazing Monica Ortega.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in.
And Chae Jones.
Hi guys, how are you? I didn't even get a speech this time.
No,
Hi.
you don't get a speech this time because they know you.
Well, this is Danny Royce, and he didn't get one either. We're gonna do it like that.
I'm gonna save the best for last. We got one more episode, so I'm gonna go all out.
It's gonna be a 20-minute speech about us when she was 4 years old.
It's like, well, what happened? What
happened?
So, and then the hurricane hit. Wow, what a hurricane. Chae, what were your overall thoughts about the episode?
Overall, damn.
That was it?
No, I really think that encompasses everything that happened this episode. It was just, I mean, we got answers on a lot of things, and I'm so grateful for that. But some points I was just like, damn, and the other points I was just like, this police force is stupid. I'm sorry. Like, okay, everybody in chat, if you disagree, let me know. I would love to know if you disagree and tell me why. Monica, what about you?
Oh man, I feel like it's the perfect title because the hurricane really did hit in this episode.
It did.
Like, people confessing everything, and then Jim, they're confessing their stories, like Jess's speech. I mean, oh my, like, I cried in this one too.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I cried. Well,
you did?
I got it. Okay, it wasn't like full crying. It was like in the well. You know, you know how it feels up in the well? In the wells of mine?
He was watching it like, ugly crying.
Like, I'm not gonna cry.
I'm like, oh my God, there's something in my eye.
Allergies. Oh my God, don't you feel that dust?
Right.
It was a very powerful
It was a very powerful episode. We start off with Clay on the run. He's sleeping on Tony and Caleb's couch.
And he wakes up to like a whole confrontation.
I don't know why that was so funny, but it was pretty funny because I was just hearing their conversation.
If you're on the run, why are you going to get a kiss from your girl?
Right. Doing the most.
I love the scene.
Technically, nobody knew where he was, so he had time enough before she went to school to stop there and get like his last in. Like, I don't think he didn't expect to get a kiss, obviously, but like I guess his own confession of how he feels to say goodbye.
I mean, I love the scene, but I was just like, are you on the run though? Because you're down the street.
Right.
Well, my question is, how did you travel all the way from Tony's place and you got to her place before school started?
That's a good point too.
All of that, like.
I mean, it's TV, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question.
That part, TV magic.
That's the question I have. But anyway, you ended up from Tony's and you went all the way to Ani's house, and it was such a cute scene, and actually, for him to say in Swahili, "I love you," and then her to say it back. Yeah, I feel like nice. That, like, obviously they've been through a lot from when Bryce was alive to now Bryce is gone, and I think she's actually was coming to her own terms about her own feelings to Clay. So that was just a really nice, and she's like, "This isn't over." Like I loved her saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she didn't want whatever they were to be over at all.
I think there's also something about just like loving somebody so much as a human. You know, I mean, obviously I'd love to see them together too, but you know, there was no doubt in her mind she was going to say I love you too, because they care about each other and they have the connection, and it was such a good moment.
That's gotta feel amazing. I don't know, I'm not capable of such things. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
You almost cried, so you're halfway there.
I got a heart as huge as a teddy bear. I don't know, whatever.
Heart is huge as a teddy bear.
Our teddy bear's heart's huge, I guess. I don't know.
think they have one.
My teddy bear had one.
Teddy Ruxpin?
If you
We're
build,
so off
if you
subject
build
right
it from Build-A-Bear, it has a heart. You put the heart in there.
Build-A-Bear, true.
Just
that
saying.
is true.
We have way too much fun for a serious show.
But also
we gotta bring a little light.
I legit. I think that's the reason why I think
Yeah.
we're so giggly about things. I know some people have like asked and are concerned about our giggleness of it all. But for me, at least me personally, how I deal with pain, I always try to make a light, and I always try to make like laughter be a thing, because that's how you get through the pain. That's how you get through the darkness. Laughter and smiles
and it's how you help others a lot of times too, because when people are happy and laughing and having a good time, they're more vulnerable that way, and the walls are down. And
you can cut the tension a bit too, instead of it just being uncomfortable.
Right.
And it makes it okay to talk about these things.
Exactly.
Where if it's always like dark and sad and hard to talk about, then people don't talk.
Exactly.
It's like, look, we can talk about this. We're all human. We've all had our stuff, and then we can laugh too.
I think we've had something. I think because we've laughed, it's because we've had like how we got into the whole religion thing. Like we laughed right before that, but we got into some deep conversations after, which is like you say, like makes you more vulnerable, makes you want to open up.
Yeah.
We don't shy away from it.
Not at all. But I did. It was interesting. Tony's and Caleb's little conversation before that Clay was picking up on, acting like he was asleep. That Tony was actually going to take Clay down to Mexico to be with his family and just to chill out there for a little bit. And Caleb was totally against it. I mean, I think that would have brought a lot more trouble and pain to Tony than anything. Like,
the family's not coming back at that point.
Right.
They're all in accessory to murder.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
they're all involved at that point. Like,
right. That's just a terrible
You're already
idea.
trying to get your family back. Maybe don't commit another crime. Or commit a crime. Not that they did the first time, but why would you put yourself... Yeah,
it was not a good idea. But so when Clay and Ani, they shared their kiss, which was amazing. They actually a mutual kiss. It was not awkward this time. Ani, Josephine saw it
from the window with the open window. Being a mom creeping. I mean, you right outside my place of work.
Right.
Well, I'm not supposed to overhear.
Just creeping.
I mean, technically, she could have just heard Ani talking to me like, "Oh,
right.
What's this?" Like, and then she, you venture over to see what's happening, and then if you hear my daughter saying, "Oh, like I would be your alibi," I would just stay here and wait to see what's going to happen. I would need to know now.
Which I think is what she did. Yeah.
Which is like, it was the plan. It's like any course of action you're going to take. I'm just like, just so at least I understand what you're doing and I know. But I love the fact that Clay was like, if I'm not doing it to Justin, if I'm not doing it to Tyler, I'm definitely not doing it for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to lie for me.
Right.
I'm not going to lie for you. And, that type of thing.
Right. And we saw how big Clay's heart is. Like, he did all this stuff before he was actually trying to get out, but he ends up going to school
because Tyler
asked him to.
Like right before he got, like, I was just like, I think that was like the amazing thing for me. It was just Tyler was just so like, I needed a friend today.
I'm so happy to see that. Yeah.
And that just actually, like you said, it shows how big of a heart Clay does. Like, even though he wants to run, like, he understands that Tyler shared the biggest secret he possibly could with me. And if this is the day he needs a friend, even though I'm trying to get out of here, I should at least show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show up, which is what the counselor said. It's show up, right?
I think it was also a little bit of fear because of the way that Tyler was saying, like, this day of all days, he's like,
he did come in there with a face of fear too.
Yeah, there was definitely like that moment. Of like, why is this day so important?
Right.
And then the realization why, obviously. Right. But
and that was so. Before we get into Fearless Jess and her amazing speech, Fearless Chae has something to say to you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for rocking it out with us here at AfterBuzz TV for all these years. But to keep doing what we do here, we need your help. So if you're watching us right now on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and if you're listening to us right now on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Only the 5 works. The 1 through 4 don't work. They've been drowned with Bryce. You know how water and electricity are. They just they go crazy. But the 5 always works. Always. And leave a review as well. We love hearing your thoughts, either on YouTube or iTunes, because we love how passionate you guys are. Also, we just want to say thank you so much for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. We love being hosts here. We love connecting with you guys. You guys are so amazing, and just thank you. And back to you, Danny Royce.
Thank you, Chae. So Jess's speech, her apology, quote unquote, which she did apologize, but in a way that was just so impactful and powerful. Chae, what were your overall thoughts of that whole scene? It was amazing.
I thought it was an apology that wasn't an apology, which I loved. I love the fact that it came across as an apology, but at the end of it, it wasn't one. Mm-hmm. It was her taking accountability for her part in it, but saying that we could do better. Not just us at Liberty, at Hillcrest too. We need to take accountability for everything that happened, all of us. But you know what? Like, I'm still here. I survived, and that's the most important thing. And just watching every single different girls we haven't met yet, from different sides of even the auditorium, and a couple guys. Obviously, Tyler setting up when Clay showed up was just amazing, and then having Robbie be the second guy, and finally Justin came forth, and you're just like, damn,
right?
Like this is more than what we thought it was going to be, but so necessary, so needed, so impactful, and it leaves an impression, which I think is just amazing, especially in high school. Like, some people use pranks and everything, but if you can leave behind something even more, that is trying to help other people in a way that will that will continue on when you're gone. Yeah, that's even more better. Yeah. So I loved the speech. I loved everything. I loved everybody standing up. And Casey, just being like, yeah, like, I'm like, you can even feel and hear her more confident about it. Her saying I'm a survivor than I think I've ever heard her before.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. Monica, how about you?
Oh my gosh, that whole scene. I think you worded it well. She took accountability. It was more accountability than an apology. Yes. She did apologize for maybe the way it went about, saying, I don't know that was 100% right, and then drops the bomb and switches it, and the whole survivor thing, like, that's where I got the feels. That's where I was crying, like, one at a time. And I loved how she brought it back and said, like, for everybody out there who's not standing up right now, we get it, you're not ready, and we'll be your voice for now. And I thought that was so powerful, because that there were people there that were like, I want to, but I can't, so that was a good acknowledgement of, like, we're not the only strong ones because we're standing up. Like, we're with you too. And I thought that was a really important moment. So
yeah, that was this scene was the moment that got me. It was extremely impactful and powerful. I really loved at the end, like you said, when Jessica said those who aren't standing up, just because I know, especially there are definitely more men than just the three that stood, and the whole sexual assault with men, and how that whole conversation in itself, it's like one of those things where you don't really talk about it, you don't even acknowledge it, because you're a man, you're masculine, you're supposed to be a man. So I thought that spoke volumes, and I loved how Tyler was able to share his story, and we're going to get to Justin and his story. But also, folks, leave comments in the chat. I want to know your opinions and your thoughts about this scene, because it was literally one of the best scenes, like, in this season.
For sure. Two things that I wanted to add is that I think it was important, Justin standing up, because it's one thing to see two people who everybody knows have been kind of picked on, but then to see the jock stand up, I think was shocking for everybody. And two, I just want to say this show deals with a lot of tough topics, and in this episode in particular, going through that survivor rape, sexual assault, talking about those issues. 13reasonswhy.info has a lot of great information. And if you text the word reason, REASON, to 741-741, there are people there. There's a lot of good resources on the website, actors talking about these issues. So if you or somebody you know are struggling, please reach out.
Yes.
Please. And people in the chat have comments.
Let's go.
I'm going to start with Ami, only because I liked it. She was like, fearless Chae, adventurous Monica, and disciplined Danny. I love that. Debbie says that speech was so impactful. The principal even seemed to understand more so.
Oh, yeah.
So much emotion. Gratian Ryan says Jessica rocks this season. And she also said, the guys made me tear up. It would be so difficult for teen guys to admit they were survivors in a crowd like that.
Yes.
It was so powerful, very brave of all of them, especially the guys.
Yes.
And there are a lot of the crying emojis with the tissue from Danny and Amy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica had amazing, her character had an amazing story arc this whole season. And yeah, like you said, Monica, different sides of groups of high school. You know, you had Justin and you had Tyler. Like, it was just really nice. And a lot of people had supported them, like, after this, you know, like, imagine if they never even knew their story, like, and you keep things inside so long and you never know that people are there to support you and
well,
hear
I don't think
you.
Tyler did.
No,
well,
of course.
Tyler until Clay, I feel like.
Yeah, until Clay.
Yeah.
But I mean, then obviously, like, everybody coming up to them afterward and Robbie, like, I'm sure he's probably just been dealing with it on his own.
yeah.
I mean, maybe a friend or two, but like to see them all kind of rally around each other, I thought was really powerful.
Yeah, and it's an important message of, like, you don't have to do this by yourself.
Don't have to do it alone.
My favorite part, I mean, was the speech and also the pieces of a mirror. I love that one. I thought that was...
I love the pieces of a mirror.
It was...
Although I didn't like Ani tearing that part down.
We find out why she does later, however.
But I was like, that wasn't the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I mean, I think that's... No matter whether you've been sexually assaulted, raped, child abuse, domestic abuse, anything like that, it's kind of how it seems like the person you look in the mirror isn't always the same. There's cracks in your own vision. So I thought that was amazing to say. But in the aftermath, I think I loved the most, like, Charlie coming up to Justin and saying, like, "Are you okay?" We wanted to check in, and Justin was just like, dude, I thank you so much, but I mean, it didn't just happen yesterday.
Right.
I appreciate it. And Casey, obviously coming up to Tyler and saying, oh, well, after Robbie asked him if he can join HO, and she's like, yeah, everybody's welcome, even if some people were a-holes, before, they are sorry.
Yes.
I thought that was such a nice growth for her. And obviously, I feel like hopefully for season 4, we're going to see more of her and see her own growth and how she deals with it.
Yes.
So I feel like this was a big deal for Jessica, obviously, but also for the characters in HO meeting.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, because she was saying everyone else was still a victim, but she was a victim herself.
Yeah.
And I think when she stood up and said, I'm a survivor, she finally let that veil, like, off. You know what I mean? But another amazing scene was Bryce and Nora in yoga. I really enjoyed that scene.
I did too.
It was really, it was just really nice bonding for them. It was like in a setting where do you two do yoga, or have you done yoga before?
I have. My body doesn't move.
I do like I have like the video. I have never actually been to like a yoga studio, but sometimes like I'll just do it like at myself and like at home, and sometimes it really kind of just centers me for a second, and I really just try to relax about it, like just remember everything I've saw, and I'll just move into the positions like I remember from seeing, and then like I let my brain just calm itself down, and it goes relaxing.
It can make you emotional too, though.
It can definitely make you emotional.
I've had that happen where like you're in a position and for no reason whatsoever you start crying.
Right.
Like it just opens things up.
It's all about energy. It's all about chakra, and it just becoming one with your body. And that was happening to Bryce. All the stuff that was going on in his life, all the things that he did, and all that just came weighing down on him. And it was a moment for him of relief, like he just releasing everything, and I just thought that was really powerful just to see his character, because we haven't seen Bryce break down like that before.
And this is the last time he sees his mom, I believe,
right?
Because he's about to go to the football game. And then he's talking about like kids someday,
like, bringing them here.
I know. I think it was also a good point to say, like, maybe this is something we should get our own kids, if we have kids, into that type of thing too, so they because like yoga does bring a calmness to your life.
I love yoga.
So I thought that was a nice juxtaposition.
Right. And he was so proud of like his mom, and like it was just a really nice moment. And I'm glad that they added that there before everything went down. But so the steroid thing, like that's a huge thing. They're trying to figure out who owns these steroids, right?
Which we know who they
Well, we know who they belong
to, but the cops,
who they belong
did.
to. Yeah.
So like Clay's like, I'm holding it for a friend.
Yeah, because he's not gonna say.
Yeah,
right.
Especially like, wasn't it dude's dad too?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, no.
It was the other.
He was talking to the other cop.
Yes.
Ani's the only one that's talked to Alex's dad. This whole
Deputy
season,
Stonewall.
when the whole narration, she's been talking to Alex's dad.
Mm-hmm.
No. Clay did, like, Sandow came in to talk to Clay.
To talk to Clay about the steroids. But he did go around it. He was like, yeah, my friend got it. And he said he got it from this guy at the gym, whatever. And then so they pull in the guy from the gym. He's like, nah, I don't do that.
This is some rich people stuff.
That was hilarious. He's like, I want my hands on that. I'm like, you're in a police station.
Right.
Maybe don't say that.
I mean, right? Like, don't admit that you do it.
They pull him in, and he's admitting to selling to underage kids. Like, I'm like, don't you guys like want to like arrest or do something? Like these cops were interesting. This little small town.
They were so interesting. He's just like, no, this is some rich people stuff. This is some high end stuff. Like
I don't do that.
It's like I'd give anything to have that. It's like you're in a police station.
I'm like, what is going on right now? But another very, like, we were just kept getting hit with just impactful and strong scenes this whole episode when Justin finally shared his truth to Jessica.
Yeah.
What'd you feel about that, Chae?
That's a little personal for me because of somebody I know. Mm-hmm. So it's just, man. I mean, I'm glad he finally talked. He said it out loud. Let's say I'm a survivor. Then also actually said the story too. And I love the fact that the first person was Jessica.
Right.
Because they do love each other that much. I thought that was perfect that she was the first person. He didn't even tell Clay. He told Jessica first. Mm-hmm. And I just loved it.
Yeah.
I loved their interaction when he's like, she kept saying like, you've been there for me this whole time. And he was like, you needed that space. I thought that was so brilliant for him to recognize that like, my story is not going to help. Like at this point, it's something for later, and they get to it, and then they share shit. It was the best.
She was like, all right, this is getting kind of gross.
It's kind of awkward and gross.
Like, speaking of laughing through the pain, that moment I was literally crying and laughing. Yeah. So well done, writers.
Right.
But I agree with you. Like when he said, he said that because.
You're still in it. You're still going through it.
I've been dealing with it, not successfully all the time, but I've been dealing with it since I was 5 years old. Like I'm going on 12 years now.
And his 13. Story was intense.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would be the first part of it with his, the mom's boyfriend, but then it continued to his times on the street and like. And
that's where the drug users came in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot to handle. But throughout this whole thing, Alex's dad just didn't believe the whole like story. He never believed that Clay did it. He always thought there was more.
So he's
looking
smart,
for more.
basically.
He's smart, and
he's a good cop.
He's looking for more. He's looking at photos. He was trying to put tracks together. Like he was getting his work in. Mm-hmm. I found that was interesting. And so Zack resigns as captain.
I think from football entirely, right?
Yes. Yeah. He resigned as captain first, and then he was like, I'm done with football because he has no future in it, he says. So I thought that was interesting that he just finally gave up like that. I was like, why?
Well, I knew something was coming.
Yeah.
Because it's not just that he gave up football. He said, I'm not coming back. I won't be back. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I knew something was coming. It had nothing to do with football.
Right. And then we go into homecoming. Mm-hmm. This was really cool for me to see actually what happened and what went down because we kept seeing like little spots here and there. Now everything just went down. So I want to jump into Chloe and Bryce first. So they meet in the hallway.
Well,
he creeping in the corner and then he calls her.
Maybe stop coming up to these girls in dark places and trying to meet with them. Like maybe meet at a coffee shop like a normal person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? So Chloe finally tells him about the baby and all that. That can be.
I was surprised.
Yeah, right? That could be pretty hurtful.
I think she wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
I very much got that from that scene, and like even her throwing Zack in and being like, I wasn't alone.
Yeah,
like
I wasn't alone. Yeah.
I think she's coming to terms with the fact that she was raped. Like, she's finally getting out of, like, the boyfriend situation and accepting everything that happened to her. Yeah. And it's coming with a lot of anger. So here comes Bryce trying to make things right, but they haven't seen each other since she started coming to terms with all that. So I very much got that she was trying to hurt him. By the way, I was pregnant with your baby. Like,
I had an abortion, sorry to tell you.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And I'm with your friend.
Yes.
Whew.
That's rough.
She wanted to hurt him.
Well, yeah, as she should. Like, who rapes their girlfriend? I don't understand that one. But
I mean, yeah, technically you get it for free. There was no need.
I'm like, I know. I'm just like, just wait until she in the mood. Like, it's totally fine. Like, I don't
you
get
legit, we would have got it for free. You fine. Like, well, I'm just saying, like, I think this whole thing I never understood with that entire thing. When we found out he did it, it was just. I mean,
he gets off on being aggressive. It's part of the issue that he talks to with Porter is he actually cannot get off trying to do it normal because his thing is being aggressive.
Which is fine. Just find a girl who doesn't mind you being aggressive.
Or you have that conversation.
I mean, granted, have a conversation, find out if she's a Mexicus and you're to say this and you good. But I'm just, again, you're a teenager, I understand that, but I just, as I'm just like, okay.
It's just a troubled person to actually, that.
When your fetish is hurting somebody, it's a problem.
At age 17, 18, like what?
Yeah.
That's a huge issue. And so he takes that rage that Chloe has really ignited and takes it out on the field
against Zack.
I don't do well with like broken bones and stuff like that, and just seeing that stuff. So I was like, because it just like a clip like that. I've been clipped in the football before, and it's just not.
You mean during the game or during the fight?
In the game. Okay. Yeah, I was not, and then we didn't break out in a fight like that. But just to see that, like, was so painful.
And the fact that there was like a big old pause, like it's not like they were in the fight. And then he's like, oh yeah, and Zack's neat. Like he was like, yep, I'm gonna do that. Puts the helmet out.
Right,
like,
you made the conscious choice to put on a football helmet.
He was looking
and aim for that particular spot.
He knew what he was doing.
Like, you knew exactly what you were doing.
He was looking for him. Like, it was crazy. I'm like...
Which, how are they not getting involved in the fight while they're just wandering around looking for people? Like, Clay was the same way. He's just, like, wandering through the crowd.
Well, he just, like, dipped and moved and serpentined through these people just to find out who was
hilarious because he, he left the stands and Tony's like, I'm coming with you. He's like, no, stay.
You're staying because you got 3 strikes.
You got 3 strikes.
You got 2 strikes on you.
Yeah, 3 strikes, you're out. And so Clay thinks he's going to actually do something. Like, he's like swinging at Bryce.
And a helmet
Bryce is like, what are you doing?
You're going to break your hand.
And then Justin's like, Clay, let him go. He's going to destroy you. Because granted, like, Clay, you have nothing defensive on you. He is in a full-blown pad, like with knee pads and everything. You will be destroyed on this mug.
You going to punch that hard helmet? How's that going to work?
Damn, broke your hand. Ow!
I'm just like, what is going on? But yeah, so he clips Zack. Zack sees him, knows that it's him. Obviously, he was lying all at the beginning when he said he didn't know who clipped him, whatever. It was someone on Hillcrest, someone else on Hillcrest. Clay and Bryce gets into it. Then everyone just disperse and they leave, right?
Well, Bryce first
after Bryce.
Then yes.
Then that happened. So after all this, Winston shows up again, right? So he's on the sideline taking photos. I knew that was the last we were going to see a Winston.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I thought he was so cute, but he's still kind of just like, oh.
He was like, he saw me. Yeah. They meet up outside the parking lot and then go back to his place. Yeah, that was just, that whole thing was just interesting. But I felt like the whole Pier incident, right?
When Zack and Bryce, because he's doing a confession.
During a confession, right? He turned himself in.
First of all, did you guys believe him?
I did not.
When he went to the cops and said, "I killed Bryce."
I was like, this is too easy. No,
I didn't believe him, but I wanted to know the story. Like, why do you think you killed Bryce? Now I need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you kill Bryce? I'm like,
I didn't believe it.
How did you kill Bryce? I didn't believe it. But I was like, okay, he did something, obviously. Right?
I was shocked actually at how far he did go.
He went
far.
For
what, dude? I'm sorry. Like, he came from he went home, picked up his car.
How are you walking? Like, you would have been in the hospital a lot. I'm sorry. He's like, I went to the hospital and now I'm good.
No, he's stumbling and he's he's limping down this mug in this brace. And
my thing is, like, how did you know Bryce was on the pier? Like, Jessica was the only person that knew. He was the only one that was told.
Could have found from Alex.
I guess so. But that's just a lot. Because him and Zack
are tight, so I mean.
Yeah. I mean, and then Jessica, Jessica and Alice are tight, I guess. But it was just like, how did you know that he was there?
He was going to be there. I didn't even think about that.
Like, you were so positive that he was there. It was just interesting. And so, yeah, he went far.
Oh, he
breaking
broke the
legs,
leg and the arm.
He could have killed him.
He could have killed him.
For sure. When he was smashing his head into, I was like.
I'm like, personally, Bryce, you wanted the beast. You got what you asked for at that point. You've been needling this dude for like more years than he could count.
Since season 1.
And you just ruined his chance to get the hell out of town.
Right.
You ruined it.
That was crazy.
What you want to do? And then I hated. That's something I don't like about that scene was the fact. I mean, granted, I understand it, but he blamed Zack, like saying, like, you did it, like you did it to yourself. Me doing that to you was your fault.
Yeah.
When no, you ruined what you had with Chloe. I didn't have nothing to do with it. That was a you thing.
It was all him.
But you breaking my leg and ending my career. That was my only chance to get out. That was a choice, and that's I think that's the biggest difference.
Yes.
You made a conscious choice.
Yes.
I also felt like that was a little bit of bad Bryce coming back.
Yes.
It was definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
Where he was seeing red with emotion and like, yeah, Chloe was gone.
I was like, you're making all these strides and why? Why give it up?
Well, again, they were all just in giant fight. Yeah. Testosterone's running, adrenaline's running. You know, I mean, it looked like on the pier that Bryce wasn't even trying to fight back. Like he was just taking the beating, he was spitting words, and it's like, why?
He was leaving, and he still kept going.
Yeah, like he's calling him like, I'm just, and then like, I'm sorry, but Zack throwing his phone into the water though, you broke his arm and his leg.
Now he can't even call for help.
In my mind, though, I kind of agree with Sarah, you in the chat, when she was just like, you could at least call 911.
Something.
As a concerned person. Like,
or don't call, but leave his phone he can.
Right.
Or, like, go to a payphone. Find a payphone. Just that way you can't be tracked and they won't know it's you. They just have your voice. That's about it.
He had no guilt, though. There was no moment of, like...
it was guilt. Like, I think when we saw him go up to Chloe and, like, just on his face, he was just like... Yep, it hurts a lot. But I also think the hurt wasn't just from his leg. It was also the hurt from what he just did.
What he just did, what he covered up the whole time, when he was checking in with the group and saying how far they were and, like, just leaving, saying, like...
I'm surprised, actually, that he held on to the secret that long. Because he's so, like...
Do the right thing
guy. Yeah, that was a bit of a stretch for me to think that he would hold on to that for so long.
Right? And then you're already, like...
I think that's him becoming a do the right thing guy.
No, he's always
been like that.
No, like, Zack Zack knows how to keep a secret. He's done it before, so that's not nothing we've never seen before.
Yeah.
But usually it's because of a good intention. Like, I feel like he still has this, like, moral compass that he tries to stick to.
Right. Then, it was so out of character for him.
Yeah.
To keep it that long, in my opinion. I was just like...
The fight was out of character, but I saw it. Like, I got it.
Yeah.
But then to keep that secret for so long felt a little bit odd for me.
And I can see how he thought he may have killed him, because if you left him there, obviously he could bled out, or he can, whatever. But
I feel like he only kept it for how many weeks?
Yeah, I guess this is all like sped up.
Yeah.
We're watching it over.
What we talked about a little bit earlier before the show, but the cops' reaction, Mr.
I'm sorry,
Deputy Sandoff.
Okay. You're sorry, because I'm gonna say some stuff today.
I didn't understand assault and battery. No, you didn't kill him, son.
Yeah, you're fine.
That was just assault and battery. Go ahead, Chae. I know you itching. Go ahead.
No, but for real, what cops are just? I'm like, son, what you did was assault and battery. Bryce Walker was murdered. So all you care about apparently is the murder, but you don't care the fact that the only reason he also got murdered was because he had a broken leg and a broken arm, and that's no consequences for you because all we want is Clay Jensen.
Right.
It's second degree murder. Like, you're still an accomplice to that murder.
You're accomplice to murder. I didn't understand. Like, no, Bryce drowned. We found water in his lungs.
He drowned because he had a broken leg and arm and couldn't swim with it. Like,
he also couldn't swim at all, so either way he would have died. But either way, I'm just saying.
Either way, it's like
you contributed to that for sure, so and they didn't care.
That legit makes you an accomplice to murder, even or like you said, I think second degree murder.
I think it would be second degree
because you didn't. Your intent wasn't to murder. I mean, it was probably to maim.
I guess it wouldn't be second degree murder because he wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't have. It wasn't like he planned the murder.
You could make a case for it.
You could definitely make a case for it. But at the same time, it's like I just found that really funny.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Grayson Ryan says Bryce's Mouth wrote a check his butt couldn't cash, which is so true. I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, we that's a phrase that we hear a lot, but it's so true. Like, if we get in a fight or anything, don't write a check yo couldn't cash, man.
Yeah, and he was used to just throwing the money around and getting, not this time. Wow. So Tyler ends up telling his truth to the police, and Monty is arrested.
Yeah.
Finally.
And I love that Charlie went with them.
Yes.
I loved that.
Yes.
That he was like, I'll confess to with you and like make sure I've got your back so that they know it's the truth. Oh,
right.
Good.
I mean, which I think that actually just shows who Charlie was when he told Jessica, like, you define me by who my friends are, but you don't know me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think at that moment we saw who Charlie was.
We saw, He was just one of those jocks that wanted to be liked and find the right group, and Monty was giving him that inclusion that he wanted and needed. But I was like, really, Monty? Like, that's who you want to roll with?
He wasn't going to stand up to the bullying, but like when you're actually committing crimes and hurting people, that was like a different level for him. So I liked that.
Ani tells Jess that she slept with Bryce.
I mean, I thought that was very, woman of her in a way. She's like, this is my truth. This is the worst thing I've ever done. I slept with the person who raped you.
Yeah.
She was also trying to get a confession.
That is true, however.
Right. That was a real... Ani's always doing something with a motive.
Okay, so technically that is true. However, I feel like Ani would eventually have told her anyway, but if she didn't need the information she needed at that point.
Yeah.
Because the reason she needed, because she knew where Jess had got the whole pieces to the mirror thing. Obviously, because you see her looking at the letter again when she was talking to her mom about it and they got into the fight.
Yep.
But she's just like, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I'm so sorry about that. What is the worst thing you've ever done?
What did you do? What did you do? And that leads us to the end of this episode.
I think that leads us to Whodunit.
That leads us to Whodunit, yeah.
Our special segment. Last one we can do, guys.
Last special segment.
Last one we can do. Based on this episode, what did you think?
I thought it was Alex.
Yeah?
Because of the conversation he was having with Zach. When Zach was just like, I killed Bryce. And he's like, dude, no, you didn't. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, why Alex? How do you know he didn't do it?
Okay. All right, Danny.
Oh man, at the end of this episode, it was two people. It was Alex. I thought Alex, and then I thought Monty.
Okay.
I just couldn't make up my mind between the two.
I actually wrote Alex and Jess because I think there's too much stuff with that bloody tape. Mm-hmm. And then to me, it was the fight scene with Alex when his dad comes in. He's got so much anger that I think it goes beyond the steroids.
Yes.
And then they didn't have alibis. They were like each other's alibis, but then Justin got involved too. So that was my theory. But I think Jess did it at that point.
Okay. All right. All right, folks. Okay. Well, we got one more episode. Episode 13 coming up tonight at 9 p.m. So definitely tune in and check us out talking about all that. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. And Monica, go ahead and see us out.
Yes, please come chat with me all across social media at Monica Goes Show.
You guys can follow me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to check out the grand finale of Grand Hotel on Mondays at 8 p.m.
And you can find me everywhere at I Am Danny Royce, also Monday nights and the Terror After Show. We'll see you soon tonight at 9 p.m. Episode 13. We're going to finish this off and find out who killed Bryce Walker.
Woo. Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.